Hey, True Believers England team here. We've been ranking comic book covers for the week. We're going to continue this with Vault of Horror. That should be fun, but I was just told our friend needs help. Do you have a link to Maranya's GoFundMe?
I don't, but if when Venkman shows up, ask him because
that's got to be that's got to be scrolling. It's got to be in the comments at all times. So we got to help her out. Maranya needs some help, so we're asking everybody to go on over to her GoFundMe and do what you can. Help her out. She, she's good friend, dear friend to everyone here. That being said, I don't know where to go. It seems so trite to do what we normally do here when a friend's in need. But there you go.
Well, I mean, she would want us to go on as normal, I assume.
Yeah,
we've done the plug.
So. All super chats, please take them to Maranya. Take anything to Maranya. There you go. We'll see if we can't help her. This is an odd duck of a night. Normally we have an audience for this, but it's just us boys. So we're going to be talking about some Vault of Horror. I actually thought the Vault of Horror would bring in a few people, but I guess not. Not today, huh? Alrighty.
Apparently not.
I know, right? Okay, but let's see.
Make me happy. That's enough.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there we go. And I will make sure that this is in the description as well, so it can be done. We've just got to keep talking about it, keep getting out there until we know she's good to go. That being said, I heard the number. Maranya, come on out to Indiana, man. That's why we moved. Seriously. One of the reasons was one, it's too busy, and two, rent is just too damn high in Orlando. So what you gonna do?
I'm
hello.
Not sure where Maranya is living, though. I can't think of anywhere, because I know for a fact she's from PA, like I am, and I can't think of anywhere in PA that would be that expensive.
Yeah, the way my mind works on certain things is and you guys have seen me talk through, and sometimes and that's where my mind is right now. So we're going to try to do the show pretty well, but in my mind I'm like, okay, how can we come up with this much money for Maranya? That's it. I mean, that's what we got to do, while still paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier today, Gail comes up because she's had a problem with her banking. She keeps someone keeps taking money out, and she hasn't found out who or what. But if we can, we're going to send some too. Alrighty. LK, Eric, talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to talk.
Well,
lol. I'm joking, but that was funny.
Giant 2-game win streak went by the wayside today. So, but still, I'm taking 2 out of 3 from the best team in baseball. I'm happy with that.
When they're done sports balling.
Yeah, we realized that 4-game winning streak was a mirage, and we're back. Today, somebody hadn't started a game in 2 years, was terrible everywhere. Relief or just mowed him down today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. It's God, it's so over for this.
Well,
it's awful.
It's still early. Hang in there. So you said you read some comic books today?
Yeah, I picked up Ultimate Spider-Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Torpedo, 1972, Pine and Merrimack, and the Nexus newspaper strip book or comic.
Okay.
How about you? Did you get anything today?
What would you think of Ultimate Spidey number 5?
I loved it. I don't need fight.
Yeah, it's live, Pat. Hey guys, how's it going? Just I wanted to talk to Gail. You guys know I got cut off from my PayPal. I was trying to send some money. I got cut off from my PayPal. I wanted to talk to Gail about where our financial situation is. And LK, instead of giving us the 60 for the books that you got this last Saturday, if you could forward that on to Maranya instead. When you get the chance, is that okay?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, do that then.
I'll tell you, it's she's got till Monday.
Okay. Yeah. And I hope that didn't come off as any kind of calling out. It's just that
no,
if it could be done, yeah. So there you go. And that would be, yeah, that would be good.
Undead Quinn, the less said about that DC Pride book this year. It's
oh dear Lord, I didn't even read it.
I've flipped through it. It's not even worth doing a bad comic beatdown because it's just so wretchedly bad.
But dear God, what have they done now? And how much am I going to be by proxy to blame for it?
Oh, what is it? I guess I didn't realize, but I should have. Steele, so John Henry Jones's daughter had a relationship with some girl, and she runs the magical bar cafe, and they had a Halloween party, some damn party she invited all the magic people to, and Raven came and gave Steele an invite so they could get back together, and Constantine's there with I don't know who the hell the other guy is.
Wait, if it's a Pride book, why is it set during October?
Or maybe it was a Pride party. I don't know. It's just, as I say, it just flipping through it was just so god awful bad. And
so wait a second. You're telling me that there's an awful Pride book, and they had the unmitigated goal to besmirch the reputation of magic users while they were at it. Is someone at DC literally just trying to tick me off? Am I public enemy number one at DC? Is that what's happening? Because there are a few things you could do that would conceivably piss me off more than Pride gobbledygook. And
I don't know if you're
my magic user characters.
I don't know if you're talking me out of doing a bad comic beatdown, but what we are here for, ladies and gentlemen, and I shouldn't be too gung-ho. Nope. Go on ahead and keep talking about this. Is what we are here for, of course, is to rank some covers from the comic book series Vault of Horror by EC Comics. And I've actually got the tier list made. I just realized I forgot to download them as overlays so we could actually look at the cover that we're see, wrong one. That one's horrific, but it was fun too. We did Comics Cavalcade already. We did GI Combat. We did Our Army at War. Tomorrow, we're by request of Mr. Breen here, we're going to be talking about some young romance. And then on Friday, it's going to be Detective Comics. And then we went through and named off a whole bunch of titles that I'll put a poll up, and we can do some voting on what we want to see on Sunday and so forth and so on. So long as you guys are showing up, so long as you guys are having a good time doing this, we will keep going. It's been entertaining, to say the least. It has been entertaining. Now, the weird thing about Vault of Horror is it starts at issue number 12. It began as another series of which I do not remember. Do you remember the series it started off as, Eric?
I knew it yesterday.
I know, right? That's we were talking about. We knew it yesterday. So it starts off at number 12. There's 29 issues in the entire series, and decided we're going to break them up, and it's going to be 15 today, 14 the next time we visit it. Won't be tomorrow. I don't want to do that, but we've got a lot to get through. There are so many comic book covers, And one of the great things, of course, is that when we do talk about these things, we're not just going, huh, cool. We're actually trying to look and see what makes it good to us, see what makes it bad to us. You guys are able to vote as well, even if you just go, I think it's a 5. Click on your phone or whatever you're on. If you do have something to say, put it in the chat. I will read it off. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's see. Let's get this party started. It's only the 4 of us. Is Bankman coming in later?
I thought he was.
Okay. Well, he's more than welcome. And Miranya's more than welcome, too. Where is she at today?
She's in the chat.
She's in the chat.
Yeah, she was in the chat earlier, so she should still be here.
That's why I don't see it. I've got the comic book covers up, not the chat. So.
Undead Quinn, I do have Discord. I don't know why you wanted to mention that I should get Discord, but I do have it. So
alrighty, team. Let us let me make this its own thing here. And of course, we actually have reason to our rankings. Let me go over this just so you understand what the scores are and what they mean. It's just not random numbers out there. 1 is god awful, 2 is horrible, 3 is very bad, 4 is bad, 5 is meh, 6 is average, 7 good, 8 very good, 9 is awesome, and 10 is super awesome. And with all that said, let's get this going, and we'll start this off with Eric. If you want to lead us off and tell us what you think of issue number 12, the first issue of Vault of Horror.
All right. Okay. Before we get started, you got to accept the fact that there's going to be a lot of words on all these covers. So trying to remember. Yeah, it was Lev Gleason that used to do that on his. That said, I'm gonna give this one an 8.
All righty, and what ranks it as a very good?
It looks like this guy is giving tours of this guy being stretched out on the rack, which is cool. But I've seen all the EC covers, and I know there's some that are just jaw dropping. So I'll give this one an 8.
All righty. And he's saying, and here we see the stretch rack, one of the most diabolical instruments of medieval torture ever conceived. Watch the action of the rack upon the wax dummy when I put the mechanical display into operation. And the blindfolded, tied up, and muted man says, good Lord, can't they see I'm alive? Not a wax dummy, I'm flesh and blood. Please, someone help me. All righty. We got an 8 from Eric. How about you, LK? Where do you stand on this one?
I mean, since it's the first one here, I'm going to start with a 7.
All righty. Any comment as to what puts it there?
I mean, it's well drawn, but again, it's the first one, so I don't know how much better or crazier
they stack up comparatively.
Nothing to compare yet. Okay. I get it. Wait, did I make this already? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll just say quickly that I appreciate the detail of the crowd.
Yes, that is something that is lost these days, by the way. I have on deck, I want to do an actual Bad Comic Beatdown Live of the Blood Hunt series, and I have it on deck to read it. And one thing I noticed right away, there's a scene where we see the Fantastic Four flying in the Fantasticar, and their faces are just, it's blood. It's a blob. There's no eyes, no nose, no nothing. It's just somebody, it's flat. It looks like The Question, but without the detail. Think about that for a moment. And here you do get an actual crowd that's well drawn. You get details in there. Dalton, what do you think?
I was going to say 7 for roughly the same reason as LK, but the more I look at it, the more I like it. So I'm going to go with an 8, I think.
All right. Okay, so 2 8s and a 7. I'm looking at it. This is very tame right here. So when you're looking at a horror comic, yes, the words actually help it out. I do enjoy the detail. Not only that, but on the table as well. Why are there stairs next to the rack? It's not necessary for the cover, but they decided to go on ahead and show that. There's literal leaves drawn on the tree. It's not just a green blob, going more to that. So there is a lot of detail that isn't necessary on the thing. On the cover itself. I'm going 8 as well on this one. It's not as visceral as I want an EC comic to be, but there you go.
They got to start somewhere.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. Glinzer says 9. Alrighty. And then Spiffy says 4. Not working for Spiffy. 7 from Undead Quinn. And Marania is saying Vault of Horror, not enough room on the cover for the awesome art. Typeset dialogue done before the art is as well. Overall, a 7. All right.
I will be right back if you can skip me on the next one.
Okay, actually 5. That was a good point about the crowd, says Spiffy. Alrighty, I'll bump it up. Okay. Is that someone's bonded? Kind of. Alrighty, there you go. Let's see what we've got. We've got a 9. We got a 5. We've got 3 7s and 3 8. Holy crap! It's like everything mirrors. Except for 5 is 2 away there. I think this ends up being a 7. Alrighty, let's move on. Okay, and number 12. We have got some decent titles on this poll that I want to do. It was mentioned Phantom Lady, the Phantom itself, Hex. So when we get a chance, I am going to put this up. But for now, we have issue number 13. Alrighty, LK, what do you think?
Good Lord, casket's open, body's gone. I mean, detail's nice, but it's not very scary or impactful. I'm going to go a 6.
Okay. Alrighty. We have issue number 13 with a 6 from LK. Dalton?
I will be right back because I can't see it. I think my screen froze.
Okay. we're losing the panel.
No, because it for me it still looks like it's on 12.
Okay, yeah, jump in, jump out. Average is 6, Ethereal. Okay, so we've got introducing a new trend in magazines, illustrated suspense stories we dare you to read. And the guy's saying, good Lord, the casket is open. Her body is done. Edgar, do you hear me? What could have happened to it? And we see the body, of course, walking through. Edgar's in shadows. It's just look to your right, dude. There he is. This one is, I actually like, once again, it's good detail. There's a lot of detail to it, but they don't have that visceral feel yet. I'm going to work on a 6 here as well. Okay. And let's see. Mango Reader is saying an 8. Alrighty. And so is Undead Quinn. Both of them liking it a little more than we did. 6 from Ethereal Dragon. And then we have, that's a horror story for you. 4 becomes 3 becomes 2, says Glinzer. Average is 5. Okay. Is it possible to give us, no, we don't do in 5s. Like the statue and situation, but not sure it's enough for me to say 7. Okay, then I'll put you down as a 6.
Okay, I'm back, but I don't know if you clicked off the cover or if,
no. When you jumped, when you came in, it bounced off. There you go.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I think I am going to give it a 7.
Okie doke.
Just because the top half underneath the title isn't really containing anything, and the figures in the shot actually seem small.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. With the word box in the art, you have the Vault of Horror taking up almost half, and we understand why. Golden Age, they were on magazine racks; they had to attract. But with that box there, it's taking up the other. It's taking up a good third of the other art real estate. One Slick, what's up? Saying the woman looks more like a mannequin than the undead. He's giving it a 7. Alrighty, and Vault of Horror number 13 says Maranya covers relying on the dialogue to convey horror. Not the art so much. Trade dress too large due to newsstand stacks. Scores a 6 for Maranya. And it's standing there menacingly. Okay, Eric Breen is not back yet. We'll get his score on this one when he gets back. Alrighty, and for now, let's see what we ended up with. We ended up with 5 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s. It's a 6. Once you do all the balancing, the only thing left is a 6. Alrighty, next up we have issue number 14 and Dalton.
All right. I like what the colors and everything are doing here, and it is actually giving a little bit more atmosphere than the previous issue did. I think this one is probably going to be an 8 for me.
Alrighty. Oh, let me get the alrighty, here we go. Okay, it's an 8 for Dalton. LK, what do you think?
I mean, I do like the detail in it. It's not really, I mean, scary or just doing anything for me. Again, I'll go 7.
Okay. We got a 7 from LK. Alrighty, so I'm looking at it. I like this. I like the colors, the fire. Apparently, they're working with what looks like a voodoo doll of a young girl. We see the woman frightened in the back, Colonel Sanders down there, or the Monopoly guy, whichever. And in the back, it looks like the devil is watching in on them. I like this. I think this one's pretty cool. I think this one breaks the barriers. At the very least, I'm willing to give this one an 8. I think that's pretty cool, this one. All right, Ethereal Dragon is saying 7, and we have an 8 from Glenzer and Undead Quinn. All right. And let's see, Vault of Horror number 14 says Maranya. Supernatural feel to the art in limited space conveys atmosphere with color and art. Score is an 8. All righty. And that is, oh, there we go. Eric's saying 8 and 7 for the old school witchcraft vibe, says Spiffy. All righty. And let's see, do we have One Slick Dude coming in? Let me wait for his. Yeah, this is pretty good. And this time the word balloon or the word box there, which they shouldn't have. Vault of Horror is good. They don't need the rest of them. I think that's it isn't as intrusive as the last one was, even though it's just as big. Already,
it's blending in really well,
yeah.
And it's in the top corner instead of it. It's also helping because the shot, looking at this as if it were a camera shot or a movie scene, is a lot more zoomed in on the action rather than having the people.
Which is what was missing. Which was what was missing from the last one. Okay, One Slick Dude put in an 8, and it's going to end up being an 8 because we've got 7 8s and 3 7s. Okay, cool. There we go. There we are. And let's see. Come on, where are the scary covers? Hey, this is the first few.
Let them get their footing, guys.
The choices were between this and Crime Suspense Stories. Crime Suspense Stories, the one with the severed head, by the way, that everybody knows about. Here is issue number 15. Alrighty, and I love the colors on this. What does it say? Abner Doom. I can't read. Oh, it's a grave. It's gravestone. Alrighty, and we see, of course, the hands popping up. We also see the Vault Keeper make his first appearance in that little circle on the side.
Mm-hmm.
The colors on the hands. Apparently there's a lantern somewhere because it's lighting up the back, not just the guy, but the back of the gravestone, right above his head. I like this. I like this. This is a 9 for me. What do you say, LK?
Sorry, I'm gonna go with another 7. I mean, it's well drawn, but again, I don't, it's not stand out for me in any way.
Okay. How about you, Dalton?
I think I'm going to go with you on this and give it a 9 because it does seem like they're finally kind of getting their rhythm as far as the spooky vibes down. And this is giving, classic zombie horror movie vibes. So I also like that it's slightly darker than the other ones have been, which allows the color that is there to pop more. And definitely gives the
that's one thing I really like. Yeah, the lighting is done so well. I'm Ethereal Dragon's wondering, is he buried alive or is he a zombie? It looks like it's a zombie. It looks like he's coming back from the dead. That's what I'm getting out of it.
I'm getting zombie vibes, yeah.
Ethereal says a 7 as well, agreeing with LK. Undead Quinn and Glenzer agree with me and Dalton and add 9s to it. 8 being buried alive is a terrifying concept, and this portrays it well. Says maybe he is being buried alive. I don't know, but the guy's scared. I don't know. What do you guys think? Buried alive or zombie?
Zombie.
I'm reading zombies right now. Yeah.
Doesn't look decayed enough to be zombie, says Spiffy. Well, it could be he's recent dead because he is in the grave. Or maybe he dug him out. I don't know. There's a lot to this. It could be anything. What do you think, Eric?
Oh, I give it a 9.
All right. And any you want to chime in, or you just want to move on?
No, I mean, you guys said I think it's somebody that's my guess is this guy, this poor schnook is working at the graveyard, just doing what he does, and then a couple hands pop out. So this is not a guy who was buried alive. It's somebody that's back from the dead. All
righty. Well, Spiffy says 8, being buried alive is a terrifying thing. And then let's see. That lack of dialogue actually helps this cover. Yeah, sometimes get rid of the words, right? One Slick says 8 would have been more scary if the hands were partially skeletal with missing flesh. Alrighty. And then we have, either way, it's 8 for Spiffy. Vault of Horror number 15, point of view of the person rising from the grave is from the reader, like they're in there with them. Horror movie frame sense, score it a 9. All righty. And let's see what we got here. And once again, anybody watching is able to vote. And there we go. Let me drop this. We've got 6 9s, 2 8s, and 2 7s. And 2 7s. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should it stay at a 9 or do we drop it to 8?
I think it's still the 9s are. There are more 9s than there are anything else.
Really do outweigh it. Yeah. Okay. And we're moving on to number 16. We're back to Eric. What do you think, sir?
I'm going to give this a 10. It's simple, effective. The light's perfectly placed for a guy that's decided it's time to get out and stretch his legs there before he gets back into his coffin later. I love it. I love his cover.
All righty. We got our first 10 score of the evening with issue number 16. LK, how about you? Do you move away from 7s?
No. Yeah, I mean, again, it's the elements are drawn nicely, but I don't know, a 7.
All right. Okay.
LK, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do both of your faucets have cold water in them?
How did you know?
Oh, that one's good. That was good. All righty, Dalton, what do you think?
I am gonna give this one an 8.
Okay.
On the basis that I'm not really sure what exactly is casting the light, the like spotlight, and another thing of being irritated with the action isn't filling the page, it's distant, and I don't like that. That being said, I do really like the colors, the orange of the horror and the like yellow of the vault with the dark black of the rest of the page is really working. So 8, I think.
All righty. We got 8 from Dalton. I'm looking at this, and first thing right away that we notice is the trade dress is now a part of the cover. It's no longer separated. Now, this could be just they decide to paint it black, which that was awesome. But what it does also is it helps that this is a lot of negative space, and I think it helps. Yeah, we're pulled away from the action, but what we're seeing is what looks like either a man who is buried or put into his coffin prematurely, or the dead rising. Maybe he's a vampire. We got what looks like the moon shining through. That's what I got from that. And the only thing it's shining on is the coffin. I think I love this cover, man. I really do. I think it's the use of negative space that just makes everything else more dramatic. I'm going to agree with Eric.
I agree with Ethereal Dragon. I think it's too much negative space.
Okay. Let's see. We've got 6'9's England team. That's not that kind of channel. Wait, what? Glinzer is saying 8. 4, the part you see is cool, but 3/5 of it is just dark. Okay. 4 from Spiffy, not liking this cover at all. Let's see. Undead Quinn says 9. All right. And we have Ethereal Dragon saying 999. All righty. And let's see. We've got Pat S says all in the 4s. All right. Zoink. 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 There we go. And let's see. Ethereal Dragon saying, wait, you said 9. No, okay. Let me get rid of that and put in the 6. Okay, and Undead Quinn, wait. Undead Quinn said 9 and then 8. Vault of Horror number 16. Spotlight on the guy rising from the coffin. Storyteller circles look like red eyes in the darkness. Oh, yeah, that's true. Adding to the creepy factor, score it a 9. Okie dokie. Too much negative space. Needed more time. I can draw better outlines than this. It's not too much negative space. It's only taking up a fourth of the panel. One slick dude says, a window with bright sunlight would not focus that narrowly. Too much negative space. He gives it an 8. All righty.
Yeah, and had retracted his message, so he's going with an 8.
Okay. All righty. There we go. And that means we've got 2 10s, 1 9, 4 8s, 1 7, 1 6, and 2 4s. And that totally demolishes the 2 10s, the 9s. And I think we are going into 8 category. All right. There we go. Boom. Zoink. And whoops, wrong one. Where are we? Here we are. Here we are to save the day. Next up, we have issue number 17. LK, start us off there, bub.
Okay. I mean, this one I like a little bit more. So I'm going to go with an 8.
Right.
The werewolf is drawn really, really well.
Okay. How about you, Dalton?
I'm somewhere between an 8 and a 9 on this. I think I'm going to lean into an 8 as well. The werewolf is drawn really well, and I really like the fact the night sky isn't just dark. There's a little bit of a red tinge to it. That being said, there's not really much else going on this cover, and this one could have benefited maybe from more going on it.
All right. Okay. How about you, Eric?
I think I'm going to go with an 8 also. You know, who doesn't like a well-dressed werewolf?
I know, right?
You know, I like the layout of the cemetery. I like the full moon in the background, the clouds, like Dalton said, the purple sky or purple-ish sky. And in LK, how in the world is Hunter Strickland still in the league?
All right. So yeah, we have a very classic setting with the moon, the clouds, those line clouds that go across a moon. They're in the cemetery. I am appreciative that we finally got the circles. That's very indicative of a EC horror title. The guy looks more like a Catman to me, but okay, if you want to go with werewolf, I'm good with that. Overall, I'd give it an 8. All righty, and let's see where everybody else sits. We have Ethereal Dragon saying 8, and Glenzer says 9. Okay, and let's see. Pat says much better. 7 classic wood man is pretty cool. Makes more sense to be in a forest than a graveyard, but even so, it's still well drawn. He gives it a 7. Pat Undead Quinn says 8. And then we have much more interesting from Pat S. Let's see. Spiffy says wolf. Okay. Voldemort number 17 says Morani. This cover suffers from plugging the storytellers on it at the expense of the werewolf, which should be the focus. Scored a 7. She didn't like what I liked. So there you go. A strong 6 or a low 7. Well, he said 6 first, so I'm going to go there. The background is just too simple. 9, good cover, like the covers with the moon coming through the clouds, says One Slick. Alrighty. And he's in shot. He became a fury and more like Man-Bat, says Pat S. There you go. Alrighty. Let's see. We got 2 9s, 7 8s, 2 7s, and 1 6. This lands squarely in the 8 category. All right, and let's move that up. That's actually pretty good here. I know you guys are. It's like, okay, where's the blood and guts? These things got banned for a reason, right, guys? All right, so here we go. It is 18 LK.
Okay, let's see here. Well, it's interesting is, I mean, the way the woman's drawn almost reminds me of the Wonder Woman that we saw in the comic Cavalcade the other night. I do like the zombie coming out of the wishing well. Yeah, I'll say it's a solid 8.
All righty. Dalton, what do you think?
I am actually leaning towards 9 on this one. It just, the art style is beautiful. Like you say, the circles are very much in the vein of an EC horror cover, and it's good to see them. And even the background on the Vault of Horror, giving it that green, is really nice. So I'm giving this a 9.
All righty, Eric, what do you say?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with a 9 too. I like it. Listen, one guy, the guy has already seen what's about to happen, and the girl's just blissfully ignorant for probably about another second and a half.
Yep.
And maybe I'm the only one who saw this, but this looks like a movie poster that Vincent Price would be in.
Maybe.
Price in this movie.
Well,
I'm seeing this guy throw that girl into the well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Totally.
Again, Vincent Price movie.
That's his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend that he killed and dumped down the well.
Yeah.
Or maybe a nagging wife that he was looking for a way to get rid of or something.
If you look, that is a dress, because you can see it's got a shoulder strap going down. That is another woman. Oh, there's a little more to the story here. Okay, so I'm giving it a 10. First of all, I'm a sucker for the 1950s hairdo and poodle skirts, all that kind of stuff. So the chick is drawn hot. All right. That being said, is that zombie that made that man so scared, his hand position, he had to remove it from her ass. There is, like I said, there's a lot of story going on in this one. Also, I'm going to bring it on back to what we were talking about in the earlier covers. Look at the leaves on the trees way the back in the corner there. The bushes, the grass has actual grass coming up, the fence going over the corner. There is, I love the way the zombie's drawn. I think the water is drawn well coming up over with her. With the girl, the guy, everything is drawn so well. This is a freaking 10. Love this cover. All right, so Glenzer says it's a 9, and so does Undead Quinn. Okay, 8 from Ethereal Dragon. And then we have Tomb of Dracula is a much better covers in general, IMO. Well, okay, maybe we'll put that on the... Oh, wait, we did. We do have that on the list. But don't rank these versus Tomb of Dracula covers. Rank these versus what you're seeing right in front of you. Don't even rank it as far as the last cover if you don't want to. If you just want to look at each individual, it's up to you. But there you go. Make sure you're looking at what's in front. Let's see. 8, like the cover, but the circles are just too big. They make the cover feel cramped. So that's one slick dude. Vault of Horror number 18. Disliked storyteller's circles pulls the score down to a 9 from Maranya. Pat, these have its place, just not my style, says Pat. The well zombie reminds me of Ted Danson in Creepshow, says Glenzer. Yeah. All right, so
we good pull, yeah.
We've got a 10, 3 7s, and 5 8s. So it kind of just falls right into that 8 category. There you go, gang. All righty.
Wait, you sure you didn't mean 9s? Because there were quite a few.
Right
9s.
on into that 9 category. Yes, you're right. I was wrong. It's not 7s. We had 3 8s, 1 10, and 5 9s. This is still ending up in the 9 category.
I was gonna say, because you, me, and Eric all gave it 9s, or you gave it a 10 actually, and Maranya gave it a 9. So.
All right, Dalton, I think it's your turn here to lead us off.
I also really enjoy this cover. I don't think it's quite as nice as the previous cover. I think this one is going back down to an 8. It's there. You can tell they're very much getting their style down. I don't know why they went with like this reddish brown color for the back of the Vault of Horror this time, but it's not really working. So I think it's going back down to an 8.
All righty. How about you, Eric? What do you think?
I'm going to agree with Dalton. Yes. They should have put like a star or 2 in the background because said when you wish upon a star, and he came back to her.
All right.
Apparently not till death do you part, but I'm kidding.
LK, what do you got?
So Bree, I'm curious, what's the year on this cover, or the years that this is covering?
50 to 54-ish.
Okay, so we're also kind of in the era of the romance comics too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, because I mean this is basically kind of what this reminds me of. It's kind of a twisted romance comic cover that you could see. Again, drawn, really, really well. So
this is 1951.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
All right. How about you, Dalton? Oh wait, you started us off. How about you, RDV? What's up?
I was gonna say we look exactly the same. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love these. These are cool. The zombie in the background, the 3 little circles there. I'll give this a 10.
All righty.
Oh, Ralph, I miss you so. Why did you have to die? If only come back to me and give me your money.
You would think she'd be a little bit more over him in the time it took him to decay to this point.
I know, right?
Well,
It's going by horror. It's going by Hammer horror movie logic of decay. It's like the second you're in the ground, you're green. When you come back,
exactly.
It's just the rule.
Yeah. Okay,
Died this
so
morning.
I would like to get this out. Anybody who said that George Romero invented zombies are full of shit. That being said, I lean more towards what RDV is saying than everybody else. One thing they kind of, if they would include like just sort of make it a little more transparent for the circles, the vault keeper, the crypt keeper, and so forth. I think it would help, but right here they're not so intrusive. I think it's a really good cover. Obviously, you know the story, and once again, a lot of detail on everything. This is a 9. Alrighty, and let's see what everybody else thinks. Sunday Quinn says 7, and Glinzer says 8. Alrighty, and then we have these are pioneers in the stylistic approach. I'll give them that. Ethereal Dragon says 7. Vault of Horror number 19 has the ironic twist style cover, which will become a trope for the book. Art's good, but not great. Score is a 7. Alrighty. And then let's see. 7 from One Slick Dude. The storyteller faces have more detail than the cover characters, who are roughly the same size. Alrighty. And that's a 7 from One Slick Dude. And Bella Lugosi says Romero invented zombies. Watch White Zombie, you fools. Alrighty, there you go. And Pat S says best cover. By all means, give a score. Chrononaut is scoring it an 8. And thank you for hitting the link there again, Comic Book Frog. Is it going through on YouTube? Because I do have.
Did you pin?
Yeah, yeah, you can do it.
Well, I can't pin, but you can. So.
No, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Once again, our friend Maranya needs your help. We got a link to a GoFundMe. Go on over, drop a couple of bucks in the jar there. Just, you know, she's a great friend to everybody here. Please help if you can.
I still say all 3 guys should live together in one giant family house, the Brady Bunch.
I was saying, Marani, come on over to Indiana. Alrighty, so what we got is 1 10, 1 9, and 4 7s, and 5 8s. Anybody upset that this is going to be in the 8 category?
No.
Ironically,
it's fine. That's probably where it goes.
Marania moving to Indiana, it'd just be the same amount of snow.
That's true. For Marania, it won't be as jarring a change as it was for me. That is
going from Allentown to like the middle of nowhere though might be a little different though.
Oh, and we got an 8.
Is she in Allentown? Is that where she's at? Okay, that makes sense.
We've got an 8 from Pat as well. Alrighty, I got you. I got your score in, dude. Next up, we have issue number 20. RDV, you want to start us off?
Wow.
He's saying, "That's it. That's it. Drive the stake through the vampire's heart."
Yeah, I'm trying to get the ticker going through. I'm trying to see the bottom part too. It cuts it off, but honestly, I'm liking these. You know, I love the fact that they have featuring that it has, you know, everything out there. The vault keeper, the crypt keeper, the old bitch. They're always in the same spot. It seems to be that way. At least the 2 I've seen so far. And these are fun. I'd say probably about an 8. No.
Okay, we got an 8 from RDV. Eric, what do you say?
I'm going to say 9 because the guy's got a crazed look on his face. Where is this vampire? I see a jug and a cobweb.
I know, right?
Yeah, they're looking into the coffin. I had to look at it myself. To me, what it looks like is that I don't know if you guys watched Saturday Night Live when they did the deleted scene from It's a Wonderful Life, and they all rushed over to Mr. Potter's to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
LK, what do you think?
Yeah, I have a real problem. The whole coffin thing looks really weird. And just kind of compared to some of the other covers, I mean, it's the twist is missing on here, so I'm gonna go with 6.
Did you see how fat that guy is, though?
Okay.
The one to the left of the
guy in the brown, the guy in the brown suit.
Yeah.
Where did his pants? Where did they end?
Dalton?
I think I'm gonna go an 8. The colors are all really nice. The cover is balanced really well. But whose bright idea was it to do a vampire story and focus on literally everyone but the vampire in the cover? You don't focus on the angry mob that comes to kill the vampire. You should give us a shot of the vampire lying in the coffin, if you please.
Knowing kind of how these books usually go, I'm assuming that they're not staking the vampire, and that the vampire is probably the guy behind the guy with the stake. But
this is also probably true, but it's still a sort of nerfed conceptualization of a cover. It's a very good rendition of a nerfed conceptualization of a cover, but it is a nerfed conceptualization.
Ronnie agrees with me, so I'm satisfied.
All right, so this is a 6. It really is focused on the wrong thing. We need to see the vampire. What did you say your score was, Dalton?
I said 8. Although I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking of dropping it to a 7. Because I do really like the covers and everything is balanced really well, but why is it focused on the literal wrong thing?
Yeah,
exactly.
Why aren't they pushing each other in a swing?
Yeah, yes. Okay, so we forgot to put the start, but I can see Undead Quinn says 8, and Glinzer says 7. We caught that. Alrighty. And then we have, looks Dick Tracy is from Pat S. They should have at least shown the vampire protesting hand. This Chester Ghoul style, says Pat S. 7, needs a vampire to justify the mood, says Ethereal Dragon. 8 from One Slick, would have been better if the vampire's hand was sticking up as he was awakening. All right. That kind of agrees with Glinzer there. Maranya says, Voltifor number 20. Looks like a still from a normal movie. No real horror feel, save for the barely there coffin and the dialogue balloon score. Alrighty, and that's a 6. And then we have Chrononaut says, what happened with Maranya? Snowball effect, short story behind the 8 ball, says Maranya. But Chrononaut gives the cover a 7.
I'd love to see Trusty redo this and have it where he's like killing Marvel and DC for doing the DC vampire stories. No more.
Alrighty. Let's see what we have here. We've got 2 6s, 1 9. Obviously, that crosses that out. And then we've got, let's see, 4 8s and 4 7s. What do you think, team?
7.
I was about to say there's more 6s than 9s. Maybe it should be dragged down 1.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and we'll put that at the 7. Okay, and let's see. I guess it was my turn, but I need to shut the mic off for a second. Alrighty, and so can you start us off, Eric?
I need to go grab a glass of water here real quick, so I'll be right back.
That's frightening.
You know what? This is a 10.
Yeah.
I just like this. It's swampy. It's atmospheric as hell. Yeah, I love this. I really like this cover.
Like you got the cocky person, like I got rid of the bodies, but now it's coming back. And he's like, this reminds you of a Tales of a Crypt episode.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Done. No worries. Don't worry about it. All right. Okie dokies. Sorry about that. What did you score, Eric? I'm sorry.
I gave it a 10.
Eric
give it a 10. Okie dokie.
I'll just say quickly, I'll give it a 10. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, and RDV gives it a 10. How about you, LK? How about you, Dalton?
I am going to give it a 9.
All right.
My only reasoning for knocking it down one is I wish the blues were a bit more, the blues and greens were a bit more vibrant to get kind of that surreal edge to it. But Vault of Horror needs to stick with the red background because that looks freaking amazing. The vibrant red pops really, really well.
Alrighty, so what are we looking at here? We've got a guy who, it says right here, by now my pets should have eliminated all traces of the body. I fed them. I wonder who their next victim will be. So this person plans on just feeding the alligators people. We see a zombie coming back, but will it be all that effective considering there's only one hand and it looks like it's been stripped? I like the cover itself. It's pretty damn good. I don't know. I'm gonna give this a 9 because once again, the details on these covers for such a small piece of art is amazing. Yeah, the trees, the what do you call it? Viscera of the arms and legs being torn apart. The alligator is actually drawn with some detail. Yeah, definitely a 9 for me here.
So
looking at these covers just makes me mad, even more mad about modern art because it's like this is what they could do in the 50s with like 5 seconds notice, and you guys can't even do this with weeks on end.
Actually, it's worse because in the golden age, they did so much work. They loved doing the work they did that they would stack up covers. If in case something was needed. What were you about to say, Eric?
No, so I wonder what the property value is on a tiny house 20 feet from an alligator pit.
Well, you would know Anglintine, don't you? Wouldn't you know that, being Florida man?
We never had tiny houses like that. The alligators win if you live in that little shack next to it. Yeah, you don't want that. Glinder's saying a 9, and Undead Quinn is saying a 9 already. We have Ethereal Dragon with a 7. And then we have One Slick Dude saying 10. Love the partially eaten undead with the trail from the alligator pit coming for it, for its killer. Alrighty. That is 3 10s. Vault of Horror number 21. Storyteller circles blend in more. It does rely on the dialogue to set up the story. Even so, with the atmospheric mood and properly muted colors, this one is a rare 10. Already. LK, you back?
Yeah, and I put in the chat. It's a pretty good one. I probably the best one I've seen so far because of the story that it tells. So I'll go 9.
Okie dokie. Keep in mind that the original art is drawn 1.5 times the size of what is on the printed cover, says Maranya. Alrighty. So this is there's no bad way of putting this. There's 1 7, but there's 5 9s and 4 10s. So this is once again a 9 cover. I don't think we've made a 10 yet, but we didn't have a 10 yesterday either, I think. So here we go. Let's see what we got here is issue number 22. LK, what's up?
Okay, this is Vault of Horror. Let me put the start up here.
Nope, okay.
Okay. Frozen in Ice. I mean, it's fine. 7.
Alrighty, it gets a 7 from LK. What does it get from Dalton?
I think it gets an 8 because I really like how nicely the colors are popping, and of course the art is as old. It seems like it's always been at an 11 out of 10. So what can you say? Again, I feel like Vault of Horror should have stuck with the red background. It works really well for it, but they went with this sort of darker muted green instead. So 8.
Okay. In this issue, the old witch reveals the startling rediscovery of the authentic Frankenstein monster. Okay.
Yes. Authenticator Frankenstein monster.
Right. All right, RDV, what do you give this?
Well, these guys are screwed. They're not getting Encino Man. They're not getting Captain America. They're most likely getting death. Just fun. This is, I love it. Whenever you see a cartoon character, any character that's in a frozen in a block of ice, you know, that's just cool to see. And yeah, I mean, I'm giving this a 9.
All right. And
Matt?
Eric? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, imagine being in the middle of Antarctica and you find a body.
I don't have to. All righty, Eric, what do you say about this one?
Wondering what the property value is on a tiny house 30 feet away from a frozen Frankenstein monster.
Yep.
All right.
Depends on how creative you can be with the thawed Frankenstein monster, I suppose.
I'm gonna give this 7.
All righty. I'm going to agree with you. It just, they're hacking away at an icy, if there's no danger. If they don't if they leave the Frankenstein and everything that's going to happen to them, if something happens to them, it's because of their own stupidity.
It's the classic horror movie scenario of a thing where they don't touch it, but or sign on it, and they touch it anyway, and now you don't feel bad for them.
Yeah, I do think that I like the green ice, but yeah, this one is a little bit lame. It's good, but not great. Let's see. Glenn says 10, but he's biased by being a Frankenstein fan. 6 from Undead Quinn, a 5 from Chrononaut, and hello to Chrononaut. Nice to have you back, man. Alrighty, donated, says Chrononaut. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
A good cover, but the Frankenstein monster doesn't look much like Frankenstein's monster, says One Slick. All right.
Well, they probably couldn't draw him like Boris Karloff, which at the time would have been the default look for him.
And in fairness, Boris Karloff bears very little resemblance to the book Frankenstein's monster, so there's that too.
All right, Vault of Horror 22. This is the wrong still from Frankenstein to use for the cover. Less horror and not so dynamic. Good art, just needs more roar from Frankenstein. Score it an 8, says Maranya. All righty, and Rhaegar says 9, and we got the stop. But once again, if you're jumping in right now, you want to go and you want to look through the ones we've already done, feel free to do that. Just leave the score, and it will be added. And yeah, I'm shutting down voting on the first video, the gorilla video. I'm going to start doing an actual top, whatever it was, for from the long box. All righty. Let's see what we have here. And we have 1 10, 1 9, 4 8, 6 7s, 2 6s, and 1 5. The 5 and the 6s bring that into the 8s, and then we have a little fight, and it ends up being a 7. Alrighty, there we go. Very scientific way of deciding things here, kids.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Exactly. But I do add up all the scores for the top 15, 12, 30, whatever we do videos from the long box. Alrighty. And the only chicanery that goes on there is that I get to break the ties. All right, here we go. We've got issue number 23. I believe RDV is back up in the batter box here. What do you say?
No caption at all this time.
None. No words.
So your imagination is, and it's just obviously a well-to-do pretty good woman. She's probably noble. And here comes someone from her past, or maybe someone that she doesn't know. And like I said, I like the imagination, but I also like having the dialogue in there,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this a 6.
A 6. Okay. I think that's your lowest score so far.
I'll go lower, don't we?
Okay. What about you, Eric? What do you think?
I'm gonna say this is an 8 because the girl's terrified, and we don't know what family member, friend, stranger, decaying, decrepit thing is coming at her.
Uh-huh.
It's got me.
I'm sorry, did you say the number already?
Yeah, 8.
8.
But we
Okay.
can't see those gams.
Okay, LK, what do you say?
I'm gonna go along, with basically comments everybody else has made, and just call it a 7.
Okie doke. All right, Dalton.
I think I'm going to go with 8. The contents of the cover probably would have gotten it a 7, but like I say, the red really helps Vault of Horror to stand out really well. So I will bump it up 1 just for that. Stick with the red, guys. It works for you.
I'm going to turn into Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High again. What are you kids on dope? This is a 10. This is classic EC cover right here. The decaying body going up the stairs to get the damsel in distress, which you're right. It kind of looks like a Scarlett O'Hara type, except for she didn't have the boob showing. I love the shadow on the wall, even of the stairway, not just of the girl. They remembered that detail. I cannot be quiet about how much detail is going into these covers. It's just amazing. Yeah, I'm giving a 10 to this one. This one is too cool for school, as nobody ever says.
Okay, the detail is nice, but you're telling me if you saw this on the newsstand, you'd be like, "Oh wow, oh this looks really cool," and pick it up.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thing is, and I don't mean this in an insulting way whatsoever, every EC book has this kind of detail on its cover. So
you know what? This one's really cool to me. Glenzer says 10, and so does Undead Quinn. So I'm not alone. Ethereal Dragon says 7. Let's see. Chrononaut agrees with the 10 school. And boom, 7. Colors aren't bad, but a very generic, nondescript cover. No real action to point to what the story is. Zombie eats woman. One slick dude gives it a 7.
Look at Rhaegar's comment. It might not be eating.
It's true. Dirty old man has come for pretty young girl. I'm sure we all know who this is. Let's go, Brandon.
Wah, wah, wah.
All righty, and Rhaegar gives it a 10. Marina O'Hara in a noirish horror flick. What's not to like?
Are we sure, by the way, that Biden isn't a zombie? Because his skin is freaking melting off of him like the freaking kid.
I agree. Vault of Horror number 23 says, Marani, this cover tells a story. Only dialogue needed would be Harold, it's you. But otherwise, it's good on its own. Impending Doom makes this a 9 ease.
Dalton, you're onto something. See how quickly Engeltine ignored you?
Yeah.
All right,
when I get ignored, that means I'm right, I guess.
Okay, so there we go. All righty. Let's see. We have 1 6, 3 7s, 2 8s, 1 9, and 5 10s. 5, 6. It looks like it's between. It's got to be an 8.
Yeah,
all right.
I think it leans at an 8. Yep.
Those lower scores pulled all those 10s down. There we go. Boink. And let's see. We are on to issue number 24. And I'll start us off. What do we got? Good Lord, the blood has already been, what?
Drained.
Drained. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. I've actually got the covers up so I can read them a little bit. Good Lord, the blood has already been drained out of this corpse. But how? Who? And we see a guy who just kind of looks like normal Abner behind him. It doesn't look like a vampire or anything, but obviously he's looking a little creepy.
It's Rob Williams.
It's, I guess you're supposed to just get the horror from the dialogue. The rest of it is very tame. I'm going to give this one a 6. This one's not really.
Well, keep in mind the standard for horror movies in the 1950s, that a lot of them were very dialogue heavy and atmospheric rather than like blood and gore and viscera.
All right. What do you think, Garrett?
I'm going to give this a 9
Okay.
because it's got, you got Commissioner Gordon taking a peek at the body, and you got the dude that should have been on ice 2 covers ago because that looks like the Frankenstein monster. So yeah, I'm digging this.
All right. And LK, what do you say?
Well, I'm going to give it a 9, but not because that's Commissioner Gordon. That's Floyd the Barber.
You know what?
You are right,
I
sir.
defer to you.
Yeah.
And look how gray it made his hair.
Yeah.
Okay, Dalton.
And he just got a good Floyd voice. Oh, good Lord.
I'm going to follow in the string of 9s. The colors, for some reason, are popping really, really well on this one. I don't know why the sheets are all yellow instead of white, but that was a good choice.
All righty. RDB.
I swear that guy on the background, he looks more like Robin Williams, kind of hunched over, like, with the glasses on, chin. And then it kind of looks like he doesn't have a reflection. Like he might be the vampire.
There you go. And what was your score?
Give it as a 9. So that's Floyd the Barber. Is that a little opie on table?
All righty. So let's see. We got Glenzer saying 9 and Ethereal Dragon saying 6. All righty. We have 6 from Undead Quinn. A 7 from One Slick Dude who says, no real horror on this cover and too much yellow. Rhaegar says, who is this crazy looking dude in the background and why didn't he eat his Wheaties this morning? Great details, science cabinet, small saloon, mustache. Give it an 8.
I guess that's the difference between us. You didn't like the yellow. I like the yellow.
And Glenzer says that's the second good Lord on a cover tonight. Modern writers gotta hate that. Yes, they're calling for a deity. We can't have that in comics today. All righty. And Maranya is saying Vault of Horror number 24 is still from a normal film horror, mostly in dialogue, but some atmospheric feel of horror too via coloring and detail. Score it a 9.
I have a question. Why is EC stamp on there twice?
Nipples.
Is that the thing they just did for every cover? The film to avoid?
They love nipples.
I mean, who doesn't? But I don't think that's the point of it, though.
All right. I have no idea. All right. So what we got here is 3 6s, 1 7, 1 8, 5 9s. Goodness gracious. This pulls it, I guess, down to an 8 again. 3. 4,
you know what I think it is? Probably 2 guys arguing over which side it goes on. They said, well, screw it. We're just going to print them both.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
That way they didn't have a family war.
Symmetry.
Yeah, I don't know if it was mentioned, but Dalton, so the reason why, or the explanation you can give for why the sheet looks yellow is that, I mean, if you look at the light behind the doctor, coroner, barber, whatever we want to call him, has a yellow tint to it. So if you imagine that same kind of light is just above the corpse.
I guess you could do that. Honestly, I'm fine with it because, like I say, it makes it much more distinctive than a white sheet would have been. So cool.
All righty. Who's up? It's Eric again, I think, or is it me?
Go ahead.
All righty. This is a 10. The lighting is really good on everybody. We've got the mystic who's just kind of staring intently. The woman is staring in horror. The ghostly zombie is drawn just near to perfect, if not perfect here, as we see not only do you get detail on the face, but it also, you can see through it. So that is amazing. That's amazing art. That is really good. This is flat out a 10. Easily a 10. My favorite cover of the night.
Is that Betty White in the green?
Yes. What do you say, Eric?
I 10 as well. Those guys are, you're looking across the table at what's rising up, saying, I don't know if that's a dead guy or a dead girl, but it's better looking than what we've been looking at across the table.
All righty, LK, what do you think?
Well, I would say those guys aren't any better looking than she is. I mean, the one guy there.
Has that ever stopped guys?
No, of course not. I don't think I've given a 10 tonight, so I'll go along with a 10. I mean, I wish it were a little bit creepier, but otherwise the composition's good, so I'll go 10.
All right. Dalton.
Yeah, 10. This is a perfect like depiction of a seance cover. I agree with LK that it could have leaned a little bit more into the horror aspect, but you know what? If I was to show somebody this and they had no idea what Tales from the Crypt or Vaults of Horror was, this would be an iconic example of exactly what you get when you get Vaults of Horror. And again, the red is back. I'm glad they seem to be leaning more into the red as the series is going along, because I feel like that is the best presentation of the title. So yeah, this is iconically Vault of Horror. This is just everything you want about Vault of Horror in one cover. 10.
Okay, Bank.
I say replace the ghost with Elaine dancing, and that's exact same. My expression would be that girl. And I go,
Bankman, do you think it anything but memes, sir?
well, that's Don Rickles on the right, isn't that? Looking up. Oh, sweet Jesus!
I do agree with Eric, though. The guy who decided to start his mohawk halfway down his scalp is it's pretty wild. What score you give it, Bank?
I'm giving it a 10, man. The detail on that ghost.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty damn good. All right. So let's see what the chat says.
I would just do this. Like when you open the page, I would have all their heads off and you see blood everywhere. You know, the ghost killed them.
All righty. Maranya is saying the double EC trademark is for the same reason why the trade dress is so big to show up on the stack of books on the newsstand. Glenzer is saying this. Glenzer is wrong. 10 for One Slick Dude. Love this cover with the semi-transparent ghost with a great detail, good color choices. Really makes this cover pop. Alrighty. 8 from an ethereal dragon. We have a 9 from Jackson saying men holding hands. Then we have an 8 from an undead Quinn. And then we've got Maranya saying Vault of Horror number 25. Great still of a seance from a classic black and white film colorized for modern audiences. Ghost faces the reader. Red table balances trade dress. Score another rare 10. And then we have a 9 from Chrononauts. And we have, you don't see a seance cover ever often. Also, has anyone here done a seance or known someone personally who has done one? Not real. That a friendly ghost also looks pleased to be there. It is a 9. And then we have change my rank to a 9, says Undead. OBKB.
Yeah. No, I have seen the Ghost of Venice, the most recent Hercule Poirot.
That
was good. The Death in Venice.
Death of Venice, yeah.
That trilogy. I mean, can Kenneth Branagh just keep making those, please? I want more of those.
Yeah, that's one I'm hoping they always make. I was sad that this one didn't do as well because I was like, no, everybody's got to see this movie. So
I think the marketing really failed in terms of conveying it, and also I could have done with a lot less Tina Fey.
Most people couldn't.
Well, yeah, any amount of Tina Fey is too much Tina Fey, but
yeah. And I
semantics.
I'm sorry. I'm still partial to the Albert Finney Murder on the Orient Express.
The good thing though is that these movies don't cost a lot, so it probably made its money back when it went to VOD. All right. Yeah, they shouldn't. You're right. Okay,
they get a lot of bang for that buck, though. There's always great production values in those.
I wish I could say this was a 10 cover, but we have 2 8s, which gets rid of 2 of the 10s, and then it's 5 9s and 5 10s left. So that ends up being a 9. All right, we almost had a 10 cover.
Yeah, in Rhaegar, I wouldn't say that's an unpopular opinion. I guess the problem is that I just couldn't see Kenneth Branagh doing the Ragnarok story, and of course, certainly Love and Thunder would not have been anywhere near as bad. Branagh would have continued them into a Shakespearean type movie, which I would have been totally fine with.
Yeah,
I think the Shakespearean aspect of Thor is just unwarranted entirely. Love and Thunder may have been an absolute crap show, and it was, but I still maintain that Ragnarok is actually the only good one of those four.
You're wrong, but it's okay. All righty, kids. This is the last cover of the evening. Eric, you want to lead us off here?
Okay, the first time I think I went with a 9 with the hands coming out of the ground. This one I'm going 10.
All righty.
I love the car speeding out of the cemetery, speeding into the cemetery. I don't know. Looks like they're leaving, but yeah. No, no. The other thing is that car's gonna be long gone by the time that guy gets out. But it's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and we know that it's just gonna hone in on him and just slowly, ramble and shuffle its way
So
to
they're
their
actually
house and kill him.
so they're driving in because cemetery is spelled backwards.
Oh yeah, okay.
My screen froze again. Give me a second. I'll be back.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right.
Now I see the graves in front of the fence. Yeah, Venk, somebody's gonna get these hands.
Yep.
All righty.
Yeah,
LK.
you can tell, I was gonna say too. Yeah, you can tell they're driving into the cemetery because the cemetery sign's backwards.
But still,
Yeah, and there's actually gravestones on the top
I
right.
saw that
Yeah,
when I
but I mean,
focused my eyes.
you could have those on the outside. No, I mean this is to me so much better than the previous one. I love the detail. This is where the color really helps because you get that detail of the bones popping out of the wrists, which is just creepy as all hell.
Oh wow, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 10 on this one. I'm gonna go go with Eric here.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call. I didn't even notice that. I put it as the thumbnail. I didn't even notice the bones are jutting out there. All righty, RDV, what do you say?
Well, I'm just gonna say this. Eric was right though. Those guys are gonna get in and get out before he even gets out. That's concrete he's going through or asphalt, and his bones are already popping out. Good luck, buddy. You know, you may be undead, but it's gonna take you forever to reach them. Unless these guys are bumbling in it and they freak out and they crash into a headstone.
You mean like anyone in any given horror movie ever always is an idiot?
Yes. That is, I love the detail on it though. You can see the skin, the texture on the left one and on the right one. Then you see like the rotting, the bones popping out. This is great. The old school, a Chevy or whatever it is, they're driving. And it's at nighttime. It's creepy. It's in a cemetery. Yeah, this is good. I'm going to 10.
All right.
I know, Eric. Do you think it's a Chevy or an Oldsmobile?
It might be an Oldsmobile.
I don't know. It looks like my first car.
Which was?
A Packard.
I'm kidding. I figured I'd make an age joke where someone else did.
Well, evil black cat's not here, so
I have to provide my own.
Yeah.
I'm not a car guy, so I couldn't tell.
Well, it looks like a V with the shield on it, so it might be I don't know if it's Oldsmobile.
Okay, but I'm giving this a 9. The green on the hands, with obviously denoting zombie. The fact that it's bursting forth out of the ground in a very like unstoppable fashion. The lighting of the car probably trying to either run away from it or run over it. It's a 9.
Alrighty, I put up a poll for the upcoming. What do you want us to do first? We had talked about a list of books to do. I added in Phantom Lady, Avengers. Wait, I think I did. Jonah Hex, a couple of them. So by all means, everybody, please check out the poll and vote on that as well. And whatever you guys choose, that's what we do on Sunday. My take on this, obviously, I liked it. I put it into the thumbnail here. I did not notice the the bone sticking out. To me, this is classic Vault of Horror as well. I think this is an amazing cover. I'd give it a 10. Alrighty. And Dalton, what did you say?
I said 9.
9. Alrighty. And RDV?
I said it was a 10.
Okay. LK?
Yeah, I said 10.
Okay. And Eric?
10.
Okay, I'm just missing a 10. All right. There we go. All righty. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Where is the start? Did we get this? There it is. Start 26. Glenzer says 9. And then talking to each other. There we have Ethereal saying 8. And Chrononaut says 10. All righty. 10 from Undead Quinn and 8 from Spiffy. 8 perspective is wrong where the car is facing the headlights would not be shining on the hands. I don't know if that's the case because you actually do see the headlights shining forward. I think this is just overhead something, which is weird because the moon is shining from the. You're right. Perspective is wrong. Being that close, they would never see them, but the hands are drawn better. I think it'd be more effective if the car was parked and the people were getting out. Let's see. Maranya saying Vault of Horror 26, sense of impending doom from point of view of the reader. Detail plus color gives horror atmosphere. Storyteller circles don't intrude. Score is 10. Alrighty. Rhaegar says brilliant colors, purple, blue, and blue combined on the cover. Awesome looking old school motor chariot getting the heck out of Dodge. Sad they couldn't stay a while for the Lonely Undead stories. That is a 10. And then we have it's Cadillac Itzel LOL says Chrononaut. Let's just say purple, yellow, and blue. Says Rhaegar. I picked Phantom Lady because I don't know what that is. Beeps. Once again, Frog is sharing the he's sharing the link. It's also I guess that unpinned when I did the poll, huh? Okay. But please go on ahead and help out Maranya. Jen Hex, my boy, needs more attention before they ban him. Alrighty. Chrononaut, you want to drop a number in there? Did I get one for you? Yep. Never mind. I did get one for you. Okay, so here we go. The last comic book cover of the night. What we have here are 8 10s, 2 7s, 2 8s. Ladies and gentlemen, we have on the very last cover our very first 10 of the night. Boom, boom, boom. And this is what we chose as the best of the Vault of Horrors. That is pretty cool. Now, I got to say, it was kind of worrisome a little bit because we started off and it just seemed to be low energy because I was like, wait a second, these aren't what we were promised by Vault of Horror. Let's see, the worst was the one with the mummy coming out.
Mummy.
It always takes a while for them to get into the rhythm, but they get there.
Yep. Oh, this is definitely the best of the 8s in my. Actually, 1 and 2 is we got to go here. To me, this is where they lie.
I think we're all in agreement that the Seance cover is the best of the 9s.
Of the 9s, yes, that Seance cover is awesome. Then actually, I think this right here, that's the way to go. I don't know. I like the well cover, but yeah, I think that's the way. And then we got the top right there. Okay, so by all means, ladies and gentlemen, please let us know in the comments how you like these, because we want to keep doing them. And please keep showing up and voting. If you are listening in, feel free to vote. It's not a closed off club or anything like that. LK, what was your favorite cover tonight? What was the one that really talked to you the most?
Scroll back up towards the 10s there, because I think it was the last two covers were the ones that I scored the highest. So
the seance and the car driving into the cemetery.
Yeah, it would probably, flip a coin, but I'd probably go with the cemetery.
All righty. How about you, Eric? Which one stood out to you?
The last two were really, really, really good. I'd probably either the seance cover or the one with the guy getting out of the coffin.
All righty. The guy the black cover right here.
Yeah.
Yes. RDV, which one?
The alligator one right there.
Right here?
Right there.
Yeah. And Dalton?
The seance cover is my freaking favorite. I would even consider switching those the last two, but you know what?
It's the way the scores dropped. Yeah. That being said, I agree. That is the best of the covers here. Let's see if anybody chimed in. Have a good night, One Slick. Chronauts. I'll give another 10. Let's see. Jonah Hex, my boy, needs more attention. I do agree. Have him as a character for having fought for the right to keep his farming equipment. The seance, it's Walt Disney finding out what's happening with Disney, says Chrononaut.
Oh
That's
no!
a villain.
If Uncle Walt knew what was going on in Disney right now, he would not be in a apparition form. Dude would be rising up from his grave and strangling Bob Iger.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
that last cover we looked at, that's Bob Iger driving by, and that's Walt coming out.
Walt Disney's coming out to kick some ass. Walt Disney's pissed. Okay, so here's the thing. We were talking last night after the show stopped. We were talking about all the titles we wanted to do. I just put up a handful of them because they're everywhere. Next Wednesday, for sure, we're going to be doing the first 12 anyway, issues of Mad Magazine. They're putting out a facsimile. So just to kind of celebrate that, we're going to be putting out the first 12. We're going to be ranking the first 12 issues of Mad Magazine, which, by the way, it wasn't a magazine at that point. It was a comic book. So absolutely pay attention for that one. Here's the titles. We all listed off. It was like 15 or 20. The Creature Commando, starting with the Creature Commandos, that era of Weird War Tales. Jonah Hex with All-Star Western. Doctor Strange, More Fun, the first series. More Fun Comics, Showcase Presents, Avengers, Elric, Spider-Woman, Twilight Zone, Boris Karloff, ROM, Adventure Comics, Action Comics, Mystery Men, Phantom, the Spider, Phantom Lady, Adventures into the Unknown, and Flash Comics. So these are some of the ones that we're going to be doing coming up. Obviously, we're going to take polls, see which ones you want to see first. So by all means, keep showing up, keep showing, telling us you guys like to do this, and we're going to keep doing them because it is a lot of fun actually looking at these covers and not just kind of passing by them and going, yeah, I heard of that. I heard that. You know, it's really, really a good time looking at these, in my opinion. Let's see. What do we got going on? Tomorrow's your best of, or is tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow's best of, and then over to here.
Yep.
All right. Wait, tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Tomorrow
Okay.
night.
Okie dokie. And then join us here again at 10:30, where we are going to go all the way. With that pendulum is swinging back again, and we're going to be talking about some young romance. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Oh, wait, before we go, I got to check that poll, right?
Okay. So far, Jonah Hex is winning.
Yeah, looks like on Sunday. Looks like on Sunday we are doing some Jonah. The next three, I guess, would be Jonah Hex, Phantom Lady, and the Avengers. Nobody wants the Adventure Comics.
Yeah, I accidentally didn't see it. I just voted for Jonah Hex immediately. The Adventure was my suggestion.
The only Adventure Comics? Well, in all honesty, go on ahead.
I was going to say Adventure Comics Spectre.
Well, the reason why I wanted to do the Adventure Comics was before we get to superheroes, we get to some awesome jungle action kind of things, and they're done really well. These are some really good covers. We will tackle them, but you guys are going to help steer us in the right direction here for what you guys want to see. That being said, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you very much to LK, to Eric Breen, to Dalton the Authenticator, and the real Dr. Venkman, except no substitutes. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 cannot say this enough. Please go on over. The link is in is going by you here. Go on over and help Maranya out, please. And thank you very much to everybody who's already done that. Everybody else, please do that. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night, kids.